a project called the Million Homes Project, which was basically the state took on building 1 million homes for people. This is in a country of, like, at that time, 7 million people. They built 1 million homes in 5 years for the working class, basically. So these were huge things. And this was all happening during the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So this is really where the welfare state in the Scandinavian countries come from. And so then, I just want to, yeah, that's fine. So then I'm just going to kind of move it on a little bit and talk a little bit about what's happening now and what's happened since the boom finished. The post-war boom ended in about 1973 when property rates started going down. And what had happened before was that the welfare state was mostly paid for partly by income taxes from workers, but also quite a big part from sort of corporation tax, taxes on the rich, wealth taxes, and those kind of things. And during the sort of 70s, 80s, this was starting to change. So the taxes were starting to come from the working class instead of from the top. So what's happening then is obviously you still have this welfare state and you still have people getting free healthcare and education and so on, but it's being paid for by the working class. It's not being paid for by anyone else in society. It's not being paid for by the top. It's being paid for by the workers themselves. It's just done through their taxes. And then really there was a quite definite break with the welfare state in 1991. And in 1991 in Sweden there was a banking and property crisis. Very similar to what happened here in 2008. Very, very similar actually. There was property speculation, there was banks that lent huge amounts of money to kind of property developers and to the rich people basically. And there was a huge debt, and it came very close to the Swedish capitalism basically just falling apart. So the government basically did kind of what they did here, guaranteeing the debt of the banks, all this kind of stuff, which obviously then also became national debt, as we see here. So the kind of sovereign debt of Sweden rose dramatically in just a matter of a few months because of this banking crisis. And of course, who's going to pay? Someone's going to have to pay for this crisis and for the speculation and the bailing out of banks and so on. And of course, that's the working class. So